comes.
So really good here it comes warning by the friend there. They're really strong cycles on launch for today. And I just let that one get away from me. I should have put my foot on the base tube immediately when I started to feel that tipping coming, but I was just a little bit slow to react and ended up having to put the glider down, but overall it turned out really good. As you can see here, I just threw up some graphic overlays. Let me know in the comment section below if you like these or not. It definitely clutters the video a little bit in my opinion, but also it is fun to track along with that elevation profile, and then the top-down map I think adds a lot of context. That being said, I'm going to keep the comments to a pretty minimum here. Just wanted to throw up that data and let you kind of follow along with that. Just in summary, this flight was a really good one. It's my longest flight so far. As you can see in the elevation profile here, and just a caveat, the map in the elevation profile shown here about half the flight. The way the GoPro records, it just segments those GPX files, and so halfway through you'll get to see what the last little bit of the elevation profile in the 2D map looks like. I'll minimize the map when I'm actually soaring just because it's pretty congested, just tight circles there, but you can really see in the elevation profile for that section coming up in a few minutes here when I'm getting some really good lift, and I'm really excited about that. And then we can see here right now, so I'm about to enter into a little bit of a lift period, and so yeah, this is one of those spots when you're coming out from the Eliminator launch site that you can get some nice little lift, and paragliders, pretty common to see them spin some loops here. For me on the Alpha, hang gliding, not something that I want to try. You know, I'm just trying to clear the power lines, get out to that ridge, get over the roundhouse or the antenna farm, and really start doing my work over there. But as you can see there, nice little bumps of lift, and then gradual descent and a little bit of sink in times. But yeah, super good day, really strong cycles, really fun day flying, and yeah, enjoy, and I'll chime in a little bit. So right around here is where I decide I'm going to go straight for the roundhouse instead of going for the antenna farm, just based on my current altitude and where everything's looking. So again, we can see there I had a nice little bump of lift. Definitely not somewhere that I'm trying to thermal, just because I really have to make it past that ridge to have a lot of security in landing zones. Again, I could go over to the St. Mary's there in the bottom right, but I don't want to have to do that. It's not a desirable landing site. There's some power lines down there, and so my priority is just to get over this ridge, which is very easy to do as long as I don't try to thermal before it and potentially put myself in a position where I couldn't make it over the ridge. Okay, so coming in here, really strong cycle there. You can hear me saying the whoop on the video. And yeah, just the start of some really good thermaling. Feeling that lift, and right around here is where I'm still like, okay, like we're in the zone, like let's start doing some actual thermaling. So you start to see me do a little bit of a bank there and start setting up my turn. So right around here is where I start to be like, yeah, I'm definitely in some lift. I felt a little bit of lift before, but that kind of just like let me know that I was entering into the zone, and I really felt it strong here. And so now I'm like, all right, like we got enough distance from the hill, time to start cutting back and start doing some thermaling. And we can see from that elevation profile, you know, getting some really nice lift right there. And so pretty stoked on how this little bit of this first part of the thermal turned out. Obviously made it up a little bit. Then as we can see the graph dropping off here, and then we'll see in seconds to come as that dot traces along the elevation profile line, drop off a little bit there, and just, yeah, so stoked. So yeah, you can hear I'm getting really good lift there. And we see a couple dips in the elevation profile here. Now into moving forward. If I was a super good pilot, I would hopefully be able to eliminate some of those dips and just stay locked in on the thermal. But honestly, for my first real flight, like actually soaring in this flight, I'm really happy with how this one turned out. So I just dropped away the map there. I'll bring it back up in a little bit, but again, just doing a bunch of circles here. Don't think it adds a ton of context, and just wanted to clear up that space a little bit. But it'll come back for when I'm cruising out to the landing zone to give a little bit more context about the distance traveled in comparison to how I'm just kind of over a small area for the soaring part of this flight. So yeah, I'm super pumped. This is my first time really thermaling, and now hopefully my like real-time audio there just like really describes the feeling, because I don't really know how to put it into words, but it is just a magical feeling, getting that lift from the air, just seeing yourself go up, feeling the lift. Like, you feel like a bird, and it's like truly an amazing experience. Yeah, so I'm almost in tears with joy after that huge lift section there, and I just really hope that conveys, like, it feels so amazing to get lift from a thermal. There's like nothing like it that I've ever experienced in my entire life. It's kind of similar to like skiing powder or surfing like a really nice wave, but it's different than even that, and it's just such an amazing feeling. So just refresh the graphic overlay there. Again, like I was saying earlier, 2 GPX files, the way that I exported it from the GoPro software. That's just how it breaks it up. We can kind of see with this 2D map here that I'm about done thermaling. I got like 1 or 2 little trial spirals left. Didn't get a ton of lift from them, and that's eventually where I make the decision to cruise out to the landing zone. As we can see, there's like a little bit of a circle at the very end, and that's actually just adds so much altitude. I was just burning down a little bit and had a little bit of extra room to play with. So super stoked on that. Not dicey like some of my other flights, and just really glad how that turned out. so yeah, pretty long section here hunting for a thermal lift. Maybe I moved off of the thermal a little bit. From the 2D map, looking at it, I mean, I'm not super far off, but it is a tiny area that I'm trying to find. And again, this is my first real thermaling flight, and so I'm not a professional at this. I'm just learning. I'm trying to share this experience with you guys as I learn, kind of share my thoughts about what I'm thinking, what I was thinking in the air. And so yeah, I'm just searching around, trying to find the thermal. We can see we got a little bit of a bump coming up, but that's not from a great thermal. That's just like, okay, I hit a little pocket of lift and just kind of wanted to have a safe landing. Wanted to get to that landing zone with plenty of extra altitude to spare. And so, yeah, after that this little bump coming up here, decided to cruise out and enjoy. And just for a little bit of context, right there on my right, that's the St. Mary's area. You can see that field. That's the alternative landing zone that I would go to if, say, I was getting really close to the power lines and didn't think I would make it over the ridge, or if at any point I got somehow stuck on the ridge to my right currently and couldn't make it over to the Parma zone. That's where I'd go to that St. Mary's area. Yeah, so nice bump right there of lift. I've never thermaled out here. Maybe I could have tried to do a spin, but again, just wanted to have plenty of extra altitude, safely get to that landing zone, not have to stress about anything. And so decided to just keep on cruising out and have a fun, nice ending to the flight. So at this point, I'm pretty much nearing over Parma, not directly over it, but I'm pretty close, kind of looking down, figuring out, okay, am I 45 degrees from this? So am I like as far away from where I'm trying to land as I am above it? And the answer is definitely not. I'm like way above it at this point. And so we can see the track just peeking forward a little bit. I'm gonna do some spins here. So I'm pointing down there at Parma, and that's just kind of me internalizing and like stating that I have a ton of altitude here. It's not time to come in for landing yet. I got to burn down a little bit. And who knows, maybe I'll actually even hit a little bit of a thermal over here. As we can see, spoiler alert, from the elevation profile, I don't. But it's a possibility. And so definitely worth a shot. Have to burn the altitude somehow. Might as well do a little bit of maneuvering practice and see some new sights in an area that I haven't really checked out before, which is above the Parma landing zone. So after this flight, I have some thoughts that are recorded directly after the flight. This voiceover is recorded about a week and a half after this flight. Again, thank you so much for anyone leaving any comments. Really enjoyed the discussion and you following along with my journey. My next upload is a flight that I already completed. And so for that flight, I had a GoPro on my chest as well as on the glider. And I think I'm going to try to just have my in-flight audio for that one, because I try to talk a little bit more in-flight and just kind of capture the raw emotion of it. Moving forward, I may or may not do voiceovers. I've heard some great comments about people enjoy the voiceovers, so I definitely plan to keep that as part of an element. But for my next upload, I'm going to try to just do the raw audio, see what the feedback is on that. But yeah, I really think I'm providing something slightly different with the voiceover and kind of the beginner perspective, and so I definitely hope to share that. But again, the next video will just be raw in-flight audio, so I hope you enjoy that one. Also, if you have any thoughts about the data overlays, the map, elevation, if you'd like to do less or more of that, also please let me know. And we had a bystander on this one that recorded some video and airdropped it to me. Thank you very much. I didn't catch your name, but I really appreciate the perspective, and hopefully other people do too. And yes, we can kind of see it coming in here. You can see it. It's like, it looks pretty like bouncy side to side from my perspective, and I think that's partly how the GoPro is cropping the horizon. You can see from the third person video, it's actually relatively smooth overall. Fantastic flight. Really stoked with that landing. Man, I thermaled for the first time, like seriously thermaled. That was so fun. Got a couple thoughts of what I could have maybe done better. I think I turned back to the roundhouse too soon. Should have stayed in the lift that I was in. It was definitely building higher on that trigger point in front of the roundhouse house. And probably should have just stayed there instead of trying to turn uphill sooner. But you know, I just did it, so I'm just getting started. Ah, man. Fantastic flight. My feet are tingling a little bit. The harness is not super comfortable. Yeah, I'm stoked to get the new harness. That was awesome. I was so pumped in the air. I was so freaking pumped in the air, dude. When I was getting that lift, that was so good. Man, that was awesome. And then you're just being above here with a bunch of altitude was cool too. Did a couple turns and whatnot. I think I kind of forgot to look at the count, and that's why I haven't been hitting it, but I'm still really happy with that landing. I'm pretty close to the rock, which isn't great, but another great landing. Super stoked. Hell yeah. What a day.